Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Freedom Achievers podcast. Typically, I would do this podcast with some additional guests. Lately, it's been my wife, Jen, and my brother-in-law, Gene, who both participate and work in our businesses one way or another. And today I decided to just get into it because we haven't done a podcast in a couple of weeks, which is odd for us because we try to stay consistent. But the other part is, man, I just, when you feel like you have something to say, you want to hit the microphone, you just want to talk about it. And I just absolutely need to say something. And I want to share it with everybody out there listening, because in my coaching journeys, and I've been coaching for 10 years now. And when I say coaching, I mean one-on-one, I mean group coaching, I mean conferences, I mean opportunities to speak in front of people, I mean, classes and trainings and all kinds of different stuff, and being invited to events that organizations are having and being able to step on the stage and speak at these organizations. And I feel like through my experiences and my 18 years of real estate business, I've been able to really accumulate a ton of information on what works, what doesn't work, what needs to happen, what doesn't need to happen, right? Processes, foundation, development, building, business, recruiting, you name it. And I feel like oftentimes I drop a significant amount of information on folks, and then folks turn around and do nothing with it. So what I want to talk about today is very simple. It's putting in the fucking work. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, listen, you can attend as many trainings you want this year in 2023 as it comes upon us. You can attend as many boot camps as you want, and paid trainings and free trainings and office trainings and brokerage trainings. And, you could go to Tony Robbins and Tim Robbins and fucking, whoever else, Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, David Kurz, whoever's trainings you want to attend, you can go to these. And if you don't implement at least one or two things from the time that you spent there, then it was a fucking waste of time. And I want to say this out loud, and maybe I get a little passionate with it, but I see this in my coaching students. I see it in group settings. I see it even on my own sales team. And it's a little bit different. All the different, areas or arenas are a little bit different, because on the sales team, I could just say, hey, you're not doing the work, you can't be on the team anymore. It's that simple. In coaching, somebody's actually paying me to look at them and go, you better get the work done, and hold them accountable. Right. But publicly, what we notice a lot is that folks are just lazy. And it's crazy. I wrote a book with a good friend of mine, Rudy Hernandez, who owns New World Title. And we wrote this book called The Blueprint. And we thought, why don't we just have a discussion, put it on words, call it a book, get it out to everybody, because it'd be such a great opportunity to tell people just very simply the efforts that we've created in our own businesses and what they can do to build it out for themselves, essentially giving you the blueprint to some of the actions you can take. And then we realized very quickly, believe it or not, that people would read this book, but they really wouldn't implement anything from it. And it was crazy, because people would come up to me and they would say, hey, Dave, I read the blueprint. It's fucking awesome. And I would say, that's great. What one or two things have you taken from that book and implemented into your business? And then you get like the, like they're choking on something. And very few times did anybody ever say anything they implemented. So I felt like I need to get a second book out. I need to get another message out. And that second message needs to be very much around actually taking action and making the effort happen. And so we seriously titled the book, Take Action. Like, that's all you have to do, right? And this book could literally be one page, and on the page, it could simply say, you can plan all you want, but if you don't take action, you're going to be a failure, blah, 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 right? But no, we put in there information on the things that you need to do and how you can implement them, because it's one thing to tell somebody what they need to do. It's another thing to tell them what they need to do and how they can implement it. And I thought that was the missing piece. I thought the missing piece was they understand what needs to be done, but they don't understand how to implement it. So we dove into that. And we name this book Take Action. And then later on, same thing. Hey, your book was great. That's awesome. Can you tell me one or two things that you pulled from the book that you're implementing into your business? And we were right back to right? And so now I'm writing my third book. It's called Failure. And it's on a whole different aspect. This is not a freaking Harry Potter series. I'm not going to write a third book on this series on thought processes. But, you know, what I realized very quickly was that agents, salespeople in general, for the most part, are incapable of doing the things necessary. And those parts come from so many different places, but I feel personally that the number one place it comes from is fear. People are fucking scared. They're scared of other people. Seriously. Like, tell somebody they got to pick up the phone and call everybody on the cell phone. They won't do it. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared to call somebody and feel like they're bothering them. They're scared of rejection. They're scared of somebody saying, bro, why are you calling me to update your database, bro? Don't put me on your fucking email campaigns. Guess what? That fucking guy's never going to buy from you. He's never going to buy from you, doesn't care about you, doesn't care about your business. Somebody that would use you would say, yeah, sure, put me on your campaign, man. I would love to know what's going on in my real estate market. But for the guy that goes, bro, don't put me on your campaign. They don't want to remember you. They don't care about you. They're not going to refer you business. When they're sitting down with their family and their cousin asks, does anybody know a realtor? They're not going to drop your name. They're not going to do it. Right. So why feel rejected from them? It's like going going out to a bar and trying to pick up on somebody and they reject you. Guess what? That person not going home with you tonight. They rejected you, and that's okay. They were never going to go home with you to begin with, even if you didn't speak. Okay. But here's the crazier part. Somebody in that bar might actually find you attractive and might find you charming and might give you their phone number, and maybe they'll come home with you eventually. Maybe not tonight, but maybe it'll happen the next few weeks if you put in the effort and follow up, right? If you continuously call that person, check in on them, see how they're doing, take them out on another date, something like that. This is what sales is. It is absolutely no different. If you pick up the phone and you actually communicate with people, then those folks have the decision to make whether they want to be communicated with or not. And don't take it personal when they say they don't. Just move on to the next freaking person. Then when you have somebody who actually raises their hand and says, yeah, put me in your database. That's cool. Actually do that. Put them in the database. Put them in your systems. You know, we launched a product called frogmanfollowup.com. It's a simple system where you just put a name, email address, and phone number, and the system will use your language, your voice, and your information to follow up and touch this person 41 times a year. That's more than you're ever going to do, because that is one thing that salespeople are very bad at, and it's follow-up. And follow-up, man, is where the game is. People think that the game is in the initial meet. But let's go back to that dating scenario, right? In the dating scenario, that person gave you their phone number. Then you went home and you had a choice. Never call this person again. Or the next day, send them a message or call them up and say, hey, it was really great meeting you last night. I was wondering if maybe you want to catch dinner next week. Right. And then take them out to dinner and finish that night and say, hey, dinner was really great tonight. Thank you, man. What do you say we catch up again the next week? Right. And you do this enough, one day you might hear fucking wedding bells. Right. It's the same thing in sales. If somebody raises their hand and says, yes, I'm interested in your information, and you never call them again because you assume that when they rose their hand, they thought they were interested in your information, they were always going to remember you. Well, that's bullshit. They're not going to remember you. They don't care to remember you. You have to make yourself present. So next time you run into the supermarket and you run into a friend, quote unquote, and they go, oh, yeah, man, this market's crazy. I just listed my house. I'm under contract. And you go, hey, but why didn't you call me? Oh, shit, I forgot you were in real estate. Guess whose fault that is? That's your damn fault. It's your fault for not making the effort to follow up with somebody when they rose their hand to begin with and say that they were interested in your information. Here's a crazier part. If you don't make any calls and attempt to meet no one, then you'll never know who is interested and who's not interested. And too many of you think that all you have to do is post a bunch of shitty fucking pictures on social media and people are just going to call you out the world. Like, they're just going to be like, oh my God, your Instagram is so freaking amazing. I want you to sell my house. No, man, it's not reality. By the way, there's 50,000 other agents rocking it out on Instagram. And guess what? There's another 2,000 of them doing it exceptionally well. With camera crews and shit, marketing people on staff, doing it exceptionally well. And you are going to stand out with being on social media and that's it? No, man. This is a contact sport, man. You got to touch people in this sport. You got to send DMs. You got to be interested in their stuff. You got to send emails. I'm a beast. I send emails on a daily basis. If you're not sending emails on a daily basis, you're whack. You will never outdo me. And this is not for me to get up on here and you feel like, I don't want you sitting in your car thinking you feel chewed out. But if you do feel a little chewed out, maybe that guilty conscience is telling you better put in the work. Maybe that guilty conscience telling you it ain't the holidays yet, man. Today is December 13th. I'm recording this. This will launch on December 14th. Christmas not to the 25th, folks. New Year's not to the 1st of next month. We still got a couple weeks of grinding to do. Wake up early, hit the gym, take care of yourself, eat something healthy, get in front of the computer, make your calls, do your touches, automate shit, use a CRM. Use Frogman follow-up, right? Guys, this is for you. This is for the taking. This industry is not that hard. Selling real estate is not that hard. But people make it out to be hard because they refuse to do the work. Then they go brokerage bouncing, hoping the next broker is going to help them do the work. No, man. When you got that fancy real estate license, you decided to go into business for yourself. Yes, brokers have a responsibility to provide you with support, insurance, and some of them feel a responsibility to provide you with education and training. That's not their job, by the way. They don't have to. Most associations provide enough trainings, and there's enough shit on fucking YouTube to blow your mind. Shit, go to my YouTube. I got 600 videos that'll tell you how to sell real estate. Join our coaching platform, thefreedomsop.com. Join the coaching platform for free. The free version will tell you how to sell real estate. It'll tell you how to be a salesperson. It'll give you tips and tricks to get the job done. But really, what it takes is you listening to one of those sessions and going, you know what? I like this one thing. I'm going to implement that. And then I'm going to be massively and ultimately consistent with it until I fucking see it work. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's David Kurz, man. I am the owner and founder of the Freedom Organization Coaching and Consulting. And sometimes I get very passionate. Well, I'm not going to say sometimes, all the time. I get very passionate about real estate sales, and the people in our industry, right? Because oftentimes we get a bad rap, man. You know, it's almost like we're beneath, car salesmen and door knocking salesmen or whatever it is. Like people look at us like we don't do a great job. And that's for us to change the narrative on. That's for us to prove to the community that you know your market, know your stuff, know your business really, really well, and you do it exceptionally well. And if they give you their house to list, you're going to do such a badass job, great pictures, great photography. You're going to do great video. You got a YouTube channel. You got social media. You're going to build out a single landing page website for their property. You're going to run Facebook ads with landing pages and all kinds of shit. God, man, damn. So many great things you could do in this business to stand out. Innovation is the key. Today, I actually posted in one of my Facebook groups So we got a Facebook group called the Freedom Achievers, Real Estate Content and Coaching, Freedom Achievers. Just search Freedom Achievers and you'll find it, the Freedom Achievers. And I wrote, we're on a mission to emancipate agents from the antiquated space, inviting them to a progressive future. Doing things just because they've been done that way for the last 20 years is not the answer. When people tell me that they've been doing something for the last 20 years the same way and it works, I immediately question their ability to innovate. When you have the ability to understand your market and your business at a high level, you gain the perspective of what is trending and what can and will happen. This helps you create and innovate and is what keeps your businesses alive long term. The key, it's all about the numbers. Know your numbers, know your business. Take action, push forward. You guys, this is it for me today. I just want to jump on for about 20 minutes and talk to you. I hope that this podcast becomes your favorite podcast and you subscribe to all my shit moving forward, and it becomes ultimately the catalyst that pushes you to the next level and breaks through whatever glass ceiling is holding you down, and really helps you enlighten and have a better 2023. We'll see you guys soon.